evening once again. We're going to take a look today at some more of the Hebrew word pictures, which is just going to be a fun look at the different words in Hebrew and the pictures that come out of those letters. How we get to see more deeply into what the word actually means when we look at the pictures of them. So we'll do that this week. By the way, God's grace, His mercy, His peace with you tonight through Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen. So we'll do that this week. We'll look at just a whole bunch of words, and we'll look at scriptures that go along with them. I think it's just fun to do so. The next 2 weeks, I will be up in Cape Cod with my mom and sister. So I think Dick is going to do one or both of them. Do both of the next two services, next 2 Wednesday nights. So definitely come. All my elders could be pastors and bishops if we had them, but don't have bishops in this denomination, but they could be. So come and enjoy. They're going to do some great talks, I think, on the 10 Commandments, or you are, 10 Commandments and some other things. So come and hear that next week. So then the week after that, on the week I get back, I'm super excited to share with you, because we're going to look at these Hebrew word pictures, but we're going to look at them in God's name. Not only Yahweh, but also Yeshua, Jesus, and also some numbers, because the numbers of each of the letters of the Hebrew alphabet also have meanings to them. And what is revealed in God's name about who He is absolutely so exciting and fantastic. So don't miss that one. That's in several weeks, though. We're going to look tonight at other beautiful word pictures from the Hebrew letters. Now remember what I was showing you last week. We have the actual modern Hebrew, which is what you have in a Hebrew Bible, reading the Hebrew Scriptures, which would be the letters here on the left side. Then you have the ancient ones, which is how the letters used to be written, which were much more pictorial about what the picture actually was. Then you have under the ancient picture here, the basic, on the right side is the actual picture, what it is representing in the ancient picture language, the letters. And then under here are the basic meanings attached to each of those letters. So I think you have these. You can refer to those and see if you can help figure out some of the puzzles from tonight. I'll write some words up here, and you can see if you can help decipher them. So, yes. Not a lot, but there is just a couple here. So you can hand those around. I think they're both sides. So that's enough, probably. Okay. So we did this one last week. I don't know. Can you see that far? I remember last week I finished and I came out, walked back there, and I couldn't see any of it. But okay. So this is Aleph, Beth, Av in the Hebrew. So what was that one? Remember the word for father, okay? What is the Aleph on your sheets there? The Aleph means the strength, the leader, the first. The Beth, remember, like my wife's name, Beth, means house. I wish I don't know if I want to write all of the middle ancient picture language characters up here. I'm just going to write the more modern ones, but you can refer to them on your sheet. But you can still just look at Aleph, number 1 there, and look at Beth. What is that? The strength, the leader, the first is Aleph. Beth is household into our family. So what is the father? The strength of the house, the leader of the house, the first of the house. So if Satan wants to come and destroy the house, who does he want to hit first and best? Take out the father. If you can take out him, then you have the rest of the house. If you can shoot the captain, you have the ship, like in the old days. So if the father is converted to Christ, on the other hand, then likely the whole family will be converted, because he's the strength and the leader of the house. So you can see how in that picture alone, if you're a father or a grandfather, that's another word for that one. Grandfather actually means the support of the house, interestingly enough. But father, this is a great call to us, if we are fathers or the heads of our wives in our homes, to be the strength, the leader, the first to guard and keep the home. you are to protect it and watch over it. To go along with that, I wanted to jump down to another Aleph word, which goes like this. It's not Av, that would be A-V, but it's Ah, and an He, and a Vav. Does that look almost the same? This letter's the same, and that letter's the same, right? Av, with a He in the middle of it. Is that interesting? What does this word mean? Ahav in the Hebrew, it means to love. So, isn't that interesting that in the word ahav, you have the word for father, don't you? With a He in the middle of it. What's the He mean? Look, see, behold, is what He means. Look, see, behold the Father, love. Isn't that kind of neat to think that the word for love is the word for father with a He? Look, see, Father's love in the middle of the word Av. Okay? I'm going to have to use a lot of erasers up here. Okay, here's another one, another Aleph one. Ale, which is an Aleph and a Lamed. What's Lamed? What number is that one? That's number 12, I think, on your sheet here. So that's the word for God. Ale, for like Elohim, right? Ale, A-L, the strength, the leader, the first. You already know that, right? We just said that for 3 times. Aleph is strength, leader, first, and Lamed. What's the symbol for Lamed? What is that? What was that originally? The picture of it. What's on the left there? A shepherd's staff. So he's the chief authority. He's the strength, first, leader of authority or shepherd. So God's name is the chief shepherd, the first of control and authority, the leader, the ultimate leader. Let's do one more Aleph, and then we'll go on to we're going to do each of the letters, Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Daleth, Hey, etc. We'll see how far we get. Oh, I have also scriptures on each of these. Yeah. Like for father, hear, O sons, a father's instruction. Why? Because he's the head of the home. Hear your father's instruction that you may gain insight. Right, let's do another one here. These probably don't mean a whole lot to you. They're very unfamiliar characters, but you can see the similarity in these first letters at least, right? We'll do one more. This is Aish, which is Aleph, Sheen. Can you find Sheen on your sheet there? Huh? 21. Good. You guys are fast. Boy, Vivian, do you speak Hebrew or something? Okay, so Aleph again is first, strong, leader, like an ox, remember? And then what's the sheen? To destroy or to consume. So what is fire if it's a picture? The strong consumer, the strong devourer. If I go over here and light those things off on these the side of the banners here and let it go, it would be a strong consuming fire to devour the building. Of course, I wouldn't get to these probably cinder blocks over here. And so, what is hell, by the way? It's a fire. It's a strong devourer. What is God, according to the Hebrews in the New Testament in the Greek in Hebrews chapter 12? Therefore, let's be grateful for receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, and thus let us offer to God acceptable worship with reverence and awe, for our God is a consuming fire. He is an Aish, strong leader first, devourer or consumer. Therefore, we ought to serve him with fear. That's kind of a neat picture, isn't it? You can see just in the letters, they're all making sense for what they actually are. Now, we've covered Aleph. I can give you a lot of other scriptures on these. I printed out a lot of them, but I want to get it through as many of these as I can because we're only going to spend tonight on the words, I think, probably. Kind of fun? All right. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the Beith, the words that begins with the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet. By the way, if you want to, you could read Psalm 119. All the first sections start with the letter Aleph. The second parts of that psalm start with the word Beith. The third parts are with the next letter Aleph, Beith, Gimel, and it goes on and on. So the whole psalm is written that way. Okay, so Beith is in, tent, house, or family. Let me write a word up for you here. Let's see, which one should we do? Huh? Psalm 119, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, for example, you know this one. I think we did this last week. That's a Beith and a Resh, okay? That looks like the same one for father, right? Av. This is, but it can be V or B. Bar. So it's a B and an R, basically. So Beith is house. What's the Resh? What does that mean? Huh? A man or a person. Okay. So where is that one? Resh is a person, man, head, or highest. Okay. So what is a son? It's the man. Think of that picture. That's a man of the house, the man in the house, the highest man in the house, under the father, of course. So that's kind of neat, isn't it? It says in, let's see. Yeah. Okay. We'll skip that part. I want to go to another word here for starting with a Beith is Boker. Boker. So B. That's a Beith, a Kaf. Look up the word. Look up Kaf. And Resh again. So that's the word for morning. So what do we have here? House, man again, and what does Kaf mean? Basically behind your head, behind your back. So what is it? What is the morning then? The picture of morning is the man and the house is behind him. Isn't that interesting? What do we read there in the Psalms? In the Psalms it says in Psalm 104, the young lions roar for their prey, seeking their food from God. When the sun rises, they get themselves away and lie down in their dens. Man goes forth to his work and to his labor until the evening. O Lord, how manifold are thy works, and wisdom thou hast made them all. The earth is full of thy creatures. So, no, that was Psalm 104, verse 21 and 22. But think about that. So the very picture is the man with the house behind him is the picture language for morning. Because man is supposed to get up and go to work and go out and do his work until the evening, and then he comes home to his house. That's a pretty picture, isn't it? So that's a good call for us as Christians to be out there and working. God wants us to work. Luther says that's how God works for you. You shouldn't sit back and wait for a fried chicken to fly into your mouth. That's what Luther said. Yes, God's going to provide for you, but he provides for you through the means and the mask of your own vocation. And he can do so apart from that too, but he usually works through those means. Yes?
Does the Greek language have a similar?
No, not really.
Not picture language?
It's Hebrew, and I don't know of anything like that in the Greek. Although the Greek kind of comes across from the Hebrew, and as you go out from the ancient Near East, the language, some of the ancient letters look similar, like our letter A. I'd have to think about that a little bit more. I think like the letter A, look at how that almost looks like an A on Aleph. The first one, it almost looks like an A, the ox. So the way the letters have transformed, some of our letters actually do look like the ancient pictorial letters of the Hebrew, but they've morphed a little bit over time. Quite a bit. Let's consider some other ones from Beith here. Do we want to do this one? Yeah, that's a good one. Let's do the word for heart is lav. So that's a lamek. And again, we're back to the Beith. Okay. So what does that tell you? The The lamed can mean control, right? Or staff. Let's look that up. The lamed is over here. Control, authority, or tongue. So the control of the house. How does that go with heart, do you think? The control of the house. Or the control of the family. Or the control of what's inside. The heart. Huh? The heartbeat of the house? Yeah. The heart is what controls the family, or what controls the inside of your own heart, if you will. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. It can also mean the shepherd control of the house. Okay. Let's do one more for Baith. Is a Barak. Barak. Yep. B-R, which is Reish, and then K. Yeah. Okay. So that would be the Baith, the Reish, and then the Koth. So if this is the word for bless, Barak, since we get like Barack Obama, right? I know, but it means to bless. Barak means to bless. So I know you might have different thoughts on that one, but Barak means to bless. So what is this? This is okay, interesting. Remember the word for son is Bar, right? Like Bar Jesus, Bar is Simon Bar Jonah, son. And this is the word Koth is for hand or covering, an open hand covering you. So what is it to bless? When the open Bar is son, right? So the open hand is covering the son. Isn't that a cool picture? Well, what happens when God is blessing you? His open hand is holding a covering over his sons, right? To guard and to protect you in all of your ways. The Lord said to Abraham, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you, and I'll make you a great nation, and I will cover you with my open hand. I will bless you and make your name great so that you'll be a blessing. I will bless you, bless those who bless you, and him who curses you, I'll curse, and by you shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So think about that. When you think of going to sleep tonight and asking for a blessing of God, or if a father would bless his children, he covers the son with his open hand. That's the picture language. And the word bless, I think that's pretty cool. Okay. By the way, for the word for heart, I was thinking that word, the word, it's the control of the family or the control of the house. Think of how you take care of your heart takes care of the rest of your whole life. For example, we read in Proverbs 4:23, keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. So the control of this house is, from that, if you control that in your heart, out of your heart shall flow springs of living water, or shall springs of life, that is. But if you don't control it, the heart, then everything outside is a disaster, really. Let's go to the next one. Are you enjoying these? Kind of neat, right? Let's take a look at Gimel. I'll have to erase these. Is it worth me writing these up here? Is it fun to try to figure it out, or do you want me to just read them? Just read? Write them up, okay. Don't ask a question unless you know the answer. Okay, the word for nomad or foreigner is the word ger, which is gimel. And you already know this one, resh. Okay, so gimel, resh. What's gimel? Can you look that one up? Find that one on your sheet. Camel. Yep, it's the symbol of a camel. Gimel. Where'd my sheet go? Where'd my sheet go? There it is. Okay, lift up, pride, benefit. And it basically means camel, though. And what is this word again? The resh is a man. We already talked about that. So what is a foreigner or a nomad? The camel man. Not Camel cigarettes. That's something different. Remember that guy? But this is the camel man. So a foreigner, a nomad, is the camel man, the man who's riding on a camel out in the desert, moving about this way and that. I think that's kind of a good one for us, because if you think of what it says in Psalm 119, I am a sojourner on earth, a camel man. Hide not thy commandments from me. I'm only passing through. I don't belong here. This isn't my home. This isn't my secure final dwelling. I'm just passing through this world like a foreigner, like a nomad, like a sojourner. So hide not thy commandments from me as I'm walking through across this earth. I'm only here for a time. Remember in Ephesians 2 it says that remember at one time you were separated from Christ, alienated from the commonwealth of Israel, strangers, nomads, foreigners to the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. But now you're no longer strangers and sojourners. You're no longer wandering about foreigners, but you are fellow citizens with the saints and members of the household of God. Okay, so Gimel, that's kind of a neat one, or Gar, I should say. How about the word for rebuke? Ga'ar. So, not too different. Ga. Is it that one? Ar. I think it's that one. Yes, okay. This is the word to rebuke. Ga'ar. And so in that one you have the word for lift up or camel. Then you have over here, resh, you got that one. We see that every one. Man, lifting up man, and what are you going to do? The eye. Ayin is actually an eye or nakedness. It can be nakedness too. Yeah, so when you rebuke somebody, lifting up the nakedness of the man. I expose your sin before you, Nathan says. Remember to David, you're the man who did this. And he was exposed by the rebuke. Oh no, I committed adultery with Bathsheba. Oh no, I murdered her husband. And now the sword shall not depart from your house, David. They lifted up the nakedness of the man in the rebuke. That's an interesting picture. If a pastor were to rebuke you, or you were to rebuke me or each other, you're lifting up the nakedness of that person, hopefully to bring them to repentance. What does it mean? Let's look at the word for redeem, which is ga'al. Not too different. Almost the same. Yeah, actually it's the gimel, then the aleph, and then it was the lamed again. Yes. So, what does it mean to redeem? If rebuking is lifting up the nakedness of a man, what does it mean to redeem or ransom him, to ga'al him? It means to lift up, means to, yeah, actually, think of it this way. Lift up, and what's the word ale? Dun, dun, dun. Well, what is the shepherd's staff? If you do each of the letters, you can do that. You can lift up the shepherd's staff. That's a good way to look at it, actually, Ian. But what is ale? El. God. To lift up God. So if you're going to redeem someone, you're going to ransom someone, the picture language is lift up God. I rebuke you, and I now lift up the nakedness of the man when I rebuke you. If I want to redeem or ransom you, I lift up God. So let me show and lift up the Lord. Isn't that a cool picture? When God redeems and ransoms you. Okay, we're off to the next one. I have scriptures for each of these, but I'm not reading them all. But we'll just keep going because we've got a gazillion of them here. Let's erase these. Okay. How about, well, let's do next. Do we want to do all of these? Probably not all of these. I'm going to just do a few of these as we go through, because I got a lot of them. I just want to do them all tonight. But weep, how about this one? We're on to the Daleth right now. So it's Dama. So Daleth, Mem, and a Ayin. So Daleth, Mem, Ayin. So this one should be easy. The Daleth is door. Just think of door, Daleth. The Mem. Oh, sorry. 13 is water or chaos, right? It can also be blood, by the way. Water or chaos. And Ayin is eye. Sounds like an eye, right? So the door, water, eye, to weep. Isn't that interesting? Water coming out of the door of the eye, or it can also be blood coming out of the door of the eye. Isn't that a neat picture for weeping? Just putting those letters and pictures together. And if you think about God weeping, you ever thought about God? I mean, God wept at the tomb of Lazarus, right? But we read here, God says, in Jeremiah 13, give glory to the Lord your God before he brings darkness, before your feet stumble on the twilight mountains. And while you look for light, he turns it into gloom and makes it deep darkness. But if you will not listen, God says, my soul will weep in secret for your pride. My eyes will weep bitterly and run down with tears because the Lord's flock has been taken captive. Think about God's heart towards his people, how much he yearns for them. As a hen would gather her brood under her wings. Oh, come, that I may save and lift you up. But if you will not, I will weep for you bitterly, God says, because you'll be taken captive. Blood will be coming out of my eyes. Water will be gushing forth from my eyes, out of the door of my eyes, God says in this picture. That's an amazing thing, the whole heart. And remember, out of the heart flow the springs of life, and out of the eyes, the door of the eyes, flows the water. Okay, I'm going to be jumping through a number of these because it's 7:37. They're all great, but let's go on to which one is the next one? Hey. Okay, so hey is the hey is basically can be look, see, or behold. Looks like that in the modern Hebrew. It's also, if you have a vowel ah, that's an A actually, A-H basically. If that ends a word, that means that which comes out of. So let's take, for example, I'm not as good at my Hebrew as I used to be. Actually, I was never really that good, so. Hang on one second, make sure I have it right. Yeah, ish. This is the word for ish. This is the word ish, in Hebrew. You know what that is? That means man. You add the feminine ending to it. You get isha, like this. Isha. Ish is man. Isha is woman. What does that say that the woman is? That which comes out of the man. What did it say in Genesis? We read Adam, when he had his wife, he said, she shall be called woman, Isha, because she was taken out of the man, Ish. Isn't that interesting? You guys look at it. I'm seeing a lot of husbands and wives out there. The wife, the woman, came out of the man originally. From Adam came Eve. But now, man, as Paul says in 1 Corinthians 11, now man is born of woman, and all things are from God. So woman came out of the man, now man comes out of the woman. What a beautiful oneness there is and balance, and how God does everything. Here's a neat one. We're also on the hey still. Rana. R. Wait, I'm sorry. Rana. Okay. So this is the word for shout of joy. Rana. Okay. Shout of joy. You know what that means? We have a man. This is that which comes out of And this noon here is the word for life. So a shout of joy is that which comes out of the person of life. Isn't that great? You have weeping coming out of you, and you're sorrowful and sad, but what comes out of the man of life is the shout of joy. The shout of joy comes out of the man of life. Ohel. A-H. This is the word for, this is the word for tabernacle, is ahel. So in this one we have, again, do you see A-L? What is that one? E-L? L is God. He is look, see, behold. What is tabernacle? Look, see, behold God. That's kind of cool, because what do we remember in the Old Testament time when you had the tabernacle and Moses finally finished it and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle? It was filled with smoke, and no one could enter because of the presence of the smoke. God filled the place in the Holy Holies over the cherubim. What is the tabernacle? Look, see, behold God. Right there, hey, right in the middle of God's name, El. And of course, Jesus, look, see, behold God, because the Word became flesh and tabernacled among us. Look, see, behold God in our midst. Tabernacle. It's kind of cool, isn't it? We're going on to the next one, which is Vav. Can you find Vav on there? Mm-hmm. What does Vav mean? Hook, or isn't Vav is a nail? Yes. Right. Number 6 is nail or peg. That's going to really figure when you. We'll get into God's name later on. Okay, I'm going to have to read some of these to you. Okay, it's been fun writing them up here. We can do it in a little more detail, but let me just read these to you so that we can make sure we cover some of these. I'll write some of them up, but. To rest is the word nava. So noon, vav, he. Those are the 3 letters. The noon means life. The vav is nail or secure. And the he is that which comes out of. So to rest or to rest at home means resting comes from the life that is secure. Imagine if you're in your house and God is your mighty fortress. This one I might want to write up here. Lust or desire. Ava. So, sorry. Yeah, it's ava. Oops, wait. There it is. Ava. Okay. So this one, ava, lust or desire. This one is nail, the vav. And this one means strong nail. And the he can be that which comes from. Okay, so lust is the strong nail that binds you to itself in a sense. Remember when David was walking one night, it says, it happened late one afternoon. What a terrible way to start a sentence when you know it's coming afterwards. It happened late one afternoon while David happened to be walking on the roof of the king's palace. He beheld a woman bathing, Bathsheba, and he inquired about the woman, found she was the wife of Uriah the Hittite, and David brought her to him and committed adultery with her, and then later killed her husband. But the nail it's the strong nail that binds you, right? He was struck. And he had to resist it, but he didn't. So think about that when you're being drawn towards lust or some desire. It can be a good one too. You can be drawn towards the Lord with a desire. It can also be lust though. Yes?
That's what I was asking. Is it always negative?
I think it can, I don't know. I think it could be positive.
You should have a strong desire for God.
Yes. I think it can be positive as well. I think I have some notes on that one, but yep. Jumping along. Oh, grace or favor, that's an interesting one. It's just 2 letters. It's the chet, or fence, which means fence, and the vav again, which means the noon, which means life or action. So what is grace or favor? It's the fence, to fence or to protect life. Think about that. Grace or favor is protecting life. Oh, I think you'll like this one. The word for womb or belly. This is going to be beit, tet, and noon. Beit, tet, noon. So what is this again? A belly is where you're going to have, of course, the womb is where the child grows. What does this mean? The house, the tet means to surround. The noon means life. What is the womb then? It's the house that surrounds life. Isn't that beautiful? Remember David says in Psalm 139, he says, Thou didst form my inward parts. Thou didst knit me together in my mother's womb. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are thy works, O Lord. You knew me right well. My eyes were not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately wrought in the depths of the earth. Thy eyes beheld my unformed substance. In thy book were written every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them. How precious to me are thy thoughts, O God, etc. But think about that. It's the house that surrounds life, is the womb. How terrible then if Satan should try to invade and destroy that. He takes out the strong father of the home. He takes out, and then he tries to invade the womb of the belly, where it's just the strong, which is the house that surrounds life. Okay, the word for to go astray or to seduce is the tet, ayin, and he, which means the surrounding or twisting, like a snake, the surrounding or twisting of the eye, and the feminine ending. So think about that. To go astray or seduce means to twist the eye. The twisting of the eye. You ever get on your phone as a guy and you're trying to look up sailing videos or something, and all of a sudden there are flashing pictures on there that you didn't look for, and you have to quickly scoot past and go to the next thing? They're trying to twist your eye, to seduce, to make you go astray. Let's get to this one. You might find this one rather interesting. This is one I shared with the guys, the pastors, on yesterday, but I had to take it off the board. Couldn't leave it on the board. Wait, let's make sure I did this right. Whose name is that? What does this one look like? That's the sheen, so it's a sh. What's the tet? T. That's the noon. N. Shatan. Satan's name. That's Satan's name in Hebrew. Shatan. So what does that mean? We translate it as Satan or adversary, the one who stands against you. But what does his name mean in picture language? What is sheen again? Teeth, devour, right? It's the teeth. The sheen is, its picture is teeth, consume and destroy. What is the tet? A snake. And what is noon? The life. The snake that consumes with his teeth life. That's Satan's name. What a picture for him, huh? The snake that consumes with his teeth life. To get you. And as soon as he bites you with sin, puts his poison in you, you're doomed unless you get the remedy. Of course, remember, you had the remedy there in Israel. Lift up the bronze snake on the pole and look upon that and you shall live. And that, Jesus says, that was symbolic of me. Look up at me, sin on the cross, because our sins were placed upon him. Look upon me and the snake bite will not kill you, but you shall have eternal life. So that's an interesting one, Satan's name. Boy, there's so many good ones in here, but here's one. Let's jump all the way over to the coughs. Look up the one for cough, which is, which number is that? Oh, we're all the way to 9. No, we're on 11 this time, actually, I think. Maybe it's a different one. So this is the word for priest or minister. Kohen. Kohen. So the kaf is behold, wait. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay, I have to give you something here. Cain, the word for Cain, this is a C and an N. That's the word in the Hebrew for yes. What is the hey? Look, see, behold. Look, see, behold the yes. That's what a minister or a priest is. You have the word for yes with the word hey instead of it. Look, see, behold the yes. Interesting. What am I to preach to you? Jesus Christ, in whom all the promises of God find their yes in Him. It says in Corinthians. To atone or forgive is to cover the mouth of a person. I won't get into that one right now, just because I want to see if there are any others I want to share with you here. So we're getting towards the end of time. The word for tongue is a little longer. Okay. Tongue. That's the lamed. Shin, vav, nun. Shin, vav, nun. So the word is lashon. Okay. So what is that one? It is the staff or the rod that shin devours or establishes, which is vav, life. Interestingly, so your tongue is the staff that devours or establishes life. What do we read in Proverbs 18, I think it is? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So your tongue, according to the picture, is the rod that's going to either establish life or destroy life. Consume it. So that's a good word for us, isn't it? How about for a word for mother? How many moms out there? Have to be careful how we read this one. I didn't draw that one right. Aim. It's Aleph Mem. Look up Aleph Mem. Strong water, you got it. Oh, see, look, you're doing it. I don't even telling you anything now. You got the pictures. So her name means strong water, or the water that never fails, because she is the life giver. Remember, Adam called his wife's name. She was an Isha, a woman that came out of the man, but her name was Eve, because she was the mother of all living. So if the man is the lead strength of the home, what is the woman? She's the life giver. The water flows from her. You got to be careful, though, because it could be water or chaos. Okay, the strong chaos. But no, don't go into that one. How about Mar? Mar, you ever hear that one in the Bible? My name is now no longer Naomi, but Mara. Mara means bitter. You hear in there, Mara, M is chaos. R is man, remember, and Ah is the feminine ending of it. So it's the man of chaos, the person of chaos. No longer is my name pleasant, Naomi. Naomi means pleasant. It's Mara. I am the person of chaos because I've lost my husband, I've lost my 2 sons, and all these things are happening to her. Call me Mara, she said. Son, child, light, refuge, grandfather, book, scroll, weep, Eden. Interestingly, the word for Eden, I'm jumping way down here now. Eden means to see or experience the door to life. It's the letter Ayin, Daleth, Nun. So it's the eye, the door, eye or experience, door to life. Eden means experience the door to life. What happened when Adam was kicked out of the garden? There was the angel there to guard the way to the tree of life, lest he should partake of the tree there and live. And the cherubim was placed there to guard the way to the tree of life. It was the door to the experience of life. What happens, that tree of life, by the way, appears at the end of the Bible in Revelation 22. Finally, it appears again. It was barred to us in Eden but in the very end, it's open to us again in the kingdom to come. Trouble and distress. Oh yeah, just a couple more here. We're almost done. Well, I'll just say trouble or distress means the hooked man. I'll end with these couple here. Kever. 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 I didn't do that very well. That's a Beth. Kever. You already know what this one. What's the R? A man, right? The Resh is a man. What's this one? Beth is Beth's name. House. What's the Kuf? Back of the head, or behind or follow. It can mean, therefore, at the end of the cycle or the final home of a man is the tomb or the grave. The final home of the man. Final home of the man is the grave. Interestingly, kahal. Kahal. That one's going to be the congregation. What does this mean? This is, oh yeah. Kuf here can mean to follow. And to follow. This one is behold the rod. So what's the congregation? Follow, behold the rod of the shepherd, right? Congregations follow, behold the rod of the shepherd. Do I have any others for you? Leader, rabbi means the head of the house. To betray, that's an interesting one. To betray or deceive. Yeah, I'll just do that one, and maybe one more. To betray or deceive is rimar. R. Mem. R. Again, I'm not drawing those very well. But that one is, that's the man, Resh. Mem is the, Resh is the water or chaos. And I think there's an H in there somewhere. Oh, that's why, because I think I cut it off here. But anyway, it means to betray or deceive means that which comes out of the person of chaos. To betray or deceive. There was two more. Shalom. 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 This is a really good one because who is Jesus? He's the Prince of Peace, right? What is this one? The sheen is to destroy. The lamed can be a rod or authority. The noon is, the vav is the nail or hook that establishes, and the mem is chaos. So shalom means destroy the authority that establishes chaos. Isn't that interesting? Shalom means destroy the authority that establishes chaos, which is Shatan, the devil's work, destroying life. And so what does the Prince of Peace come to do? And interestingly enough, to destroy the authority of chaos, you could even say by the nail, because that word is vav, is nail. You're going to see that more in Jesus' name later on, in God's name. But the authority, to destroy the authority that establishes chaos is the word for peace. All right, I think we're about done. And I'll just end with this one. This will be the very last one, okay? It's a good one to end on, although that was a good one too. We're going to end with the word for Sabbath. How do you say that if you're a Jew? Shabbat, right? So, how's that going to look? Shabbat. Sha. Ba. I think it's a tau, right? Yeah. Shabbat. Shabbat. What is that going to be? The How does that go again? The word that means rest or Sabbath is Shabbat. The word picture tells us that we rest when we, okay. Oh, that's why. Because the word shuv is in here. Shuv means to return. Shuv is, just I have to tell you, that word means to return. And the tau, remember, is the word for sign, covenant, or cross. So what do you do on a Sabbath? You return to the covenant or return to the cross. Isn't that a beautiful picture? So if you want shalom and peace, no more chaos, the destroying all that authority, you return to the Sabbath rest of Jesus. He says to me, he says, come to me all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That's the ultimate Sabbath rest, the forgiveness of our sins. Come to me. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. I will refresh you. Return to the cross, return to the covenant, return to me. That's our ultimate Sabbath. So, anyway, these are kind of cool. There's as many of them as there are words. We covered a lot in an hour. I'll put aside this part. You can look into this more if you'd like, or you can take this book or whatever and look into it some more, or get the book yourself. But don't miss it when we take a look at God's name. That is going to blow your socks off. What God's name means in picture language, not only Yahweh, but Yeshua. Oh my goodness. It just points to our salvation from the beginning of the world. It's all in God's name and many other things. So that'll be when I come back.